Hello and welcome to this day Devo. My name is Pastor Guy. It is a blessing to have you here with me today. I want to begin by simply reminding you on this Tuesday morning that this is the day that the Lord has made. So let you and I rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24, which by the way is a beautiful psalm. If you were to read any more scripture today when you're done with this, let me point you to Psalm 118. I trust that you'll be blessed by that. It's a beautiful, beautiful psalm. But in terms of what we're doing here today we're reading Mark chapter 5, verses 21 through 43, so the back half of Mark. This is one of the rare times in our reading plan where, at least according to my Bible, in the New Living Translation copy that I'm using, it's one entire subtitle. Subtitles are not inspired. Those bold letters that you see that break it down and the chapters and verses, those were all added later and they're subject to change and subject to being wrong because they're not inspired. They're added. They're tools that are helpful for us as we navigate Scripture, so that I can say a verse and anyone in the world knows where to find that. But anyway, that's besides the point. I find it great to see that we have that because it's all put together here for us in one chunk. But yet we have two stories of fervent faith and desperation, really. And we see that God heals when fervent faith is professed. But before we go too far into that, I do want to say this. While we just read today stories of fervent faith, of people with strong faith going out of their way to seek the healing of Jesus directly. Yesterday, we read a large chunk of scripture where a demon-possessed man, a legion, demon-possessed man, not only had no faith, but he didn't ask Jesus to do this. It just happened on demonstration. And so God will offer healing and miracles where God chooses to. But by having faith, by placing our faith in Him, we get to experience the pursuit of God. And in our pursuit of God, in our persistent prayers of faith, we draw closer to His throne of grace. And we can receive healing and miracles because we are persistently praying. And we have a God who is compassionate towards those who call out to His name. And we see that in what we saw today. A God demonstrated, personified for us, incarnated for us in the person and the work of Jesus, the compassionate view of who God is. So Jesus finds himself back in Capernaum. And one of the things that's beautiful about what we read today is Jesus shows us he's living regular life, right? I mean, he's doing active ministry, but he's doing his thing. He shows up in Capernaum, he gets off the boat, he's immediately met by all of these people, including this man named Jairus, who has a daughter who is quite literally on her deathbed, and he goes out of his way to say, listen, I need your help. He would have been an elected official, and he put his reputation on the line by begging and bowing to Jesus to ask him to come and heal his daughter. And on the way to go heal him, life kept happening. You know, we like to say, well, I'm doing this and nothing else. I'm on a mission here. But sometimes while we're on these missions, other things happen, right? It's kind of like tonight. I'm making dinner for my kids, my family. I'm cleaning up dishes, and with 4 kids running around, I mean, there's you never know, right? Questions and needs are coming from every single angle possible, and you're like, oh, I just want to focus on this one task. Can I just clean the kitchen and then move on? You know what I mean? And so that's real life. Things are always coming in from every angle. We don't live life in a vacuum, and neither did Jesus. He was surrounded by people, surrounded by needs. And this woman who had been suffering had such a deep faith. She'd done everything that she could to find an answer. And she had such a deep faith that she believed the tradition or maybe the mysticism of, if I just touch the tassels on a holy man's clothing, the power will come through to me. And Jesus is being pushed at by all these different people in this crowd, and she probably kind of crawls in right real low, and she just reaches out, and I just have to feel it just a little bit. It's going to get my fingers on his clothes, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's going to heal this bleeding, this hemorrhage that I've been dealing with for all these years, for 12 years. And when she does that, he feels the power go out of him. She feels the power come into her. She knows that she's instantly healed in that moment. And she just wants to get her healing and walk away. But Jesus doesn't just want to heal and walk away. He wants relationship. He probably knew, right? He knew who it was, but he wanted to point it out. He wanted that relationship with her. He wanted to give her more than physical healing. He wanted to give her spiritual healing and let her know that her faith has made her well, not the fact that she touched a holy man's outfit, And so he begins that relationship, and in that moment, someone comes running and says, Jairus, I'm sorry, don't bother this man anymore. Your daughter is dead. And Jesus doesn't miss a beat. He says to Jairus, don't be afraid, just have faith. And he continues on the way to where he would heal Jairus' daughter. Don't be afraid, just have faith. This is so similar to Moses saying, the Lord will fight for you. All you have to be is silent. Just be still. Just stay calm. Exodus 14:14. Jesus shows up at Jairus' house, and whenever he says she's not dead, she's sleeping, they mock him. They ridicule him. They laugh at him because these people have been mourning. And he says, I don't want any of this. I want everybody out. All I want is, I just want mom and dad and the 3 disciples that I brought with me. We're going into this room. And Jesus reaches out and he does something that he shouldn't have done, right? According to culture, he touches her hand. Physically touches her. And when he touches her, he says, little girl, get up. And she immediately stands up. And they were overwhelmed and they were amazed that he healed her, that he raised her from the dead. She was dead. What a beautiful picture of Jesus' compassion for people. And what a beautiful picture of how Jesus, he doesn't get in a hurry. He's just going through his life, and every opportunity that God gives him to love people, to show compassion, to extend grace and mercy and forgiveness, he takes it. He just takes it. Remember, the devil hurries. The devil makes you feel rushed. The devil makes everything feel urgent, like it has to happen right now. Sure, there's urgency to the gospel. We don't know when Jesus is coming back. But the man and woman of God who follows Jesus in faith is not rushed. They're not rushed. You're going through life, enjoying the pace and the blessing that God's given you and living this life of faith. So friends, have faith. Faith that God will bring you your miracle. Faith that God will bring you your healing. Faith that you can fervently pursue him every single day. And faith that says, my God is bigger than this. And faith strong enough and deep enough that even if the miracle does not come this side of heaven, we know that we'll ultimately be physically healed and with him in eternity. And so we hold that hope of ultimate healing in our faith. Today I learned this about Jesus, and on this day I will blank. What did you learn about Jesus today that you can put action to today? What can you do? I'm so happy that you're here with me, and I hope that you have the best Tuesday that you've had in weeks. Have an incredible Tuesday. I'll see you later.